Y después no soy tampoco.
Hola amigos, Javier here for Hum of the Earth, signing in from Mendoza, Argentina, an oasis in a dry place. By oasis, I'm referring to all of the streets that can be found in the city. Mendoza only receives at the most like 20 days of rain per year. So to build this oasis, they built the trees in the water irrigation system, and the water comes all the way from the mountains. So Mendoza is right next to the Andes, and in fact the highest mountain in South America is just right outside of Mendoza. So some pretty good climbing and or hiking to be done if you'd like. So the majority of the buildings in this lower part of the city here, so at the bottom of the valley, were built beginning in 1862-63. But the city is actually much older. What happened was the original city was mostly destroyed by a very large earthquake of a magnitude of 7.2 on the Richter scale. Following the earthquake, there were fires, floods, and it's believed that 1/3 of the city did not survive the earthquake. So a very devastating earthquake. And following that, the city was moved 30 kilometers west, thinking that would be safer. And while they did that, they came up with this concept of a city oasis in a dry climate. And these trees are definitely appreciated because it is hot in Mendoza. So if it was not for the shade, you would be cooking. This is a covered up monument here of Plaza Espana, a park that used to be called Plaza Montevideo, because when Mendoza was destroyed by the earthquake, Uruguay helped them rebuild the city, and namely this park. But later on, Argentina started getting a lot of immigrants from Spain, a lot of which were really helping the city, so they wanted to kind of give a nod to them by naming the park Plaza De Espana. And the monument that is covered up that we can't see right now, that's going through renovations, is a little bit controversial. It features two women. One is Argentinian, she is holding grapes, and the other is Spanish, and she is holding a book, which I guess represents knowledge. And in the statue, the Argentinian woman is seemingly, according to some people's interpretation, I'm not actually seen it, but from what I'm told, it seems that the Argentinian woman is like looking for the Spanish woman's affection, and she's kind of getting the cold shoulder. So maybe that's why they're renovating it. park is called Plaza Italia. Argentina received a lot of European immigrants. A lot from Italy, being one of the main sources. This statue of a wolf is to represent the Italian soldiers that helped in Argentina's fight for independence. This statue kind of represents farming in the area and people living and working in and around Mendoza. And if you're not familiar with Argentina, it makes sense that European immigrants would come to live here. Out of the Latin American countries that I've visited, it is by far the most European feeling. Quite a few reasons: food, time you eat, social customs, way of speaking, mannerisms. Pretty interesting. Now we are in Plaza de Independencia, the main plaza of the city. This is a Hyatt hotel that used to be a jail. Plaza also going through some renovations. Plaza Independencia connects to the beginning of the pedestrian streets. Common place to go for a snack or a coffee with someone and catch up. Also further down that way is a good place to get some cheap eats. Menu del dia, which is kind of meal of the day, so food that's already prepared and cheaper than cooking something from scratch. Can also be called menu ejecutivo, executive menu. And this is Plaza San Martin. There's a statue of General San Martin pointing to the Andes. San Martin, considered the father of Argentina, played probably the most important role in liberating Argentina and Chile from Spain. So it was here in Mendoza that he began building the army that would, instead of heading north through the northern part of Argentina into Bolivia, which back then was called Alto Peru, which would have been a territory full of loyalists to Spain. So that would have been difficult. Instead, he had the idea of going over the Andes and then going using the ocean to get to Lima, so an easier route to get to Lima and fight there, and ultimately he was successful. You can get wine at McDonald's. So the city of Mendoza does actually attract quite a few tourists, the majority of which will have a really good time visiting the various wineries around the city that are supposed to be very advanced and in very beautiful locations and buildings. Some of them even have like art exhibits within the wineries. So I've heard really good things, and the wine is supposed to be excellent, but unfortunately that's not really my favorite type of activity. More my style would be to do some of the hiking that I mentioned earlier, and just some of the, there's also a lot of national parks around Mendoza. But unfortunately, I will be not visiting any of them because I have a bus ticket to head to Santiago del Chile, so the capital city of Chile, later this evening. So I've only had a short time here in Mendoza. But I've really enjoyed it. And I hope you enjoyed this video tour of the city and learning some of the history along with me. While I was in Argentina, I did get to do some really cool nature activities, like bicycling through the northern part of the country, which was absolutely amazing. Amazing rock formations, valleys, mountains, etc. Really cool time. Those videos can be seen on my Argentina playlist on this YouTube channel. In general, I was here as part of my first ever bicycle tour, a journey bicycling from Canada to Argentina. If you'd like to see an interactive map of everywhere that I went and everything that I did on this journey, I have that available over on my website, followthehumoftheearth.com, where you can click on the different locations that I went and see the different blog posts and videos that I've made of these places. And if you'd like to follow my continuing adventures, you can do so by subscribing to my YouTube channel. Hope you enjoyed. Have a good one.